Hello, here's my vlog for January 29th, 5:42 p.m. on Wednesday. My computer is like frozen. I was trying to add a QR code to a page and it's stuck because I may have opened up too many pages. So yeah, if it's still, I'll talk as long as I can. And if it's still doing that and like unable to move, I might have to restart the program. I didn't do any like looking for job stuff today because I'm like super obsessed with the QR codes. It was only a few days ago. I should look at my vlog. It's the advantage of having a vlog. You get to know when you did stuff. It was less than a week ago. It was like Friday, I think. So maybe in a week I could do it from beginning to end, from the idea to even getting it on the site. I needed to put all of my QR codes on my website. I don't need to for this new idea that I had, but since I made them, I wanted to pop them on there. And the pages were opening up quickly. I was like surprised. I was happy with how quickly I got it done. It's like the whole website. I have the QR codes on it. I haven't uploaded it yet. I'll do that today, but I might have to restart the program. But yeah, so maybe by the end of today, I'll have them up there. All of them up on my site. So I explained it yesterday about the value of having QR codes on the website are like, so I have a QR code on my phone, or a piece of paper, you QR code over it. You know, you talk to somebody and then you show them on the phone and then they go, oh, that's a cool page. And then you can transfer the page onto their phone by them just looking at the QR code, and then it goes on to their browser history. And so if you have like a QR booklet, they can just scan over over all of them and get all of your, oh, that's my mom. Why is she calling right when I'm doing a vlog? Usually I answer, but I think I'll call her back when I'm done. Yeah, so that'd be a cool thing, but then I came up with the idea of the QR booklet. And so before I was talking about QR code, you know, like I got the idea from having a business card with a QR code on it on my website. So then I was like, okay, well, how about a little booklet where you have 64 QR codes on it and it can be like QR code collections. And so you can point people to specific books or even specific sections of books. And so you can do that with anything, like, and I have so much on my site, you know, I could do it. I could do all of the laws that pertain to making YouTube videos, I don't know. And you could have all the QR codes of those exact laws. And if you have a card, a business card size thing, so you can just store it in your wallet, and you could store 2 of those in one wallet. You put them in the back part. You can have access to whatever your brain can hold, you know, and beyond. So, and go right there. And so, if you have to call up, you know, fax and stuff, it's way better to call it fax rather than, you know, you're trying to say something and then you have a fax, so you look at your fact sheet. See, look, it's on my fact sheet, you know? Or like, look, see, it's written here in this article that this person wrote in this magazine. Or look, it's on this person's website. It's like, why not go, look, here it is on the actual law code. You know, like Plato said, well, here's Plato saying it on the book, the actual book. So that's how you can do that. And then I got the idea to, if you could buy collections of them, because I had the idea before to, I have like a bunch of them, of all of them, you know, you have like the laws of this, laws of that, different books, different time periods, different places, timelines, horizontal part of the timeline, countries and timelines, focusing on countries or focusing on just a certain time period. And yeah, and then if you have a lot, you could make them where you piece them together. So like if you have like a notebook, because you can do it for kids in school, you put it on the size of the notebook, you piece them together on the notebook, and it helps you form a map in your head. And then, and then so I told my mom, and she's like, well, why not just print it out? And I was like, huh. Then I came up with the idea, yeah, I could print my entire website. Like I have a web page on my website I made a long time ago that is the sitemap. So it's like a sitemap. Every time I yawn, like tears come out of my eyes, so I like to squeeze it out. On my site, but these QR codes is like a sitemap. So you can make a sitemap of my whole site with QR codes, and it's super condensed. That's the way you can make it a sitemap, because you can make the QR codes as small. I have them down to 50 pixels. Maybe I should have tried it smaller. I did them at 50 pixels because they didn't have to be any smaller than that on my timeline, because they were on the right side of the UN subregion, and which was like a whole box, so it had a whole lot of space. And on the left side was like a 50 pixel image. So it's like two images the same size on either side. It's the image of the subregion. There's another 20 pixel, in the menu, but so it balances out. And then on the other pages, it can be that big because it's up at the very top next to the name. Because the timeline doesn't have those names at the top, so there's no space. So, and 50 pixels is small. And you don't want it to be too small where it can't, you might have trouble scanning it because like the screen has cracks in it, or it's not bright enough, or it's in the sun or something. So I think that's a good size, but, and I like the round numbers, but if you plus you need this, the text can't be too small where you can't read it. And I'd be a good judge of that because I'm 51 and my ability to read small print. I was trying to read small print on something the other day and I couldn't do it. I can't remember where it was, but I can still read like Hot Wheels cars, the bottom of the cars, the labels of them and stuff. But like if for a 50 pixel image, the way to identify it with small print, I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I would do it to try to do it in one line or two lines. But, that's the space that you would take. So in a page, like when you add stuff in grids like that and little images, you can fill up a lot of space. And so to just grid up the whole image like that on my website, I do it on the website first. And then print it out. And so then I could do that, create those, and I could try to make them look fancy and try to sell them as like wall mounts, as like posters on the wall, cue card posters. And then I just had that idea now. I could sell a full size poster of my timeline built out of QR codes. Because the advantage of that, the reason that would be cool is my website, my timeline works really well on a cell phone. Here, I'll show you. I was actually doing it with my mom today, because like today, I guess I'll do a segue and come back to where I'm talking about how my website looks good on a cell phone. So I was working, trying to get these QR codes on my site all night until like 4 in the morning, and I was like exhausted. It was like 4:30 in the morning, 4:25 to be exact. And then all of a sudden I remembered, oh shit, I was supposed to go into the SS office today, Social Security, to try to get my new card so that I could schedule an interview to take care of the old people. because they want to have your card online, like the latest version of it, and also your first aid certificate, which that was super easy to get. I got the first aid certificate the other day at my mom's house. I like watched this tutorial. I read through these like 7 pages, watched like 5 videos, and I'm all paying attention. And then they're like, "You ready for the test?" But the test was only 12 questions, and they were like the simplest questions though that they asked. They were like, it wasn't even like the particulars between the different people. It was like, I think it was a CPR one. But yeah, I got all of them right, and then they're like, "Okay, print it up, $10," and I was like, "Okay." I hope that's what they need. I hope there's not like another first aid I need to get. I need to look at that again, but anyway, yeah, so I had to go into the Social Security to get my card, and I show up at 11:40, and he says, we have to wait. I get the ticket, and then we have to wait for like more than an hour. It's like 12:42 by the time he's ready to see me. And so we're sitting for an hour. And so we were doing the time with this, with my cell phone. I was showing her my my little time test and like taking the test with her. Because my goal is to get 100% and then demonstrate getting 100%, and then that means I have the certificate for that page. So so here's how it works really good on a cell phone. It's like a cue card. You just hit one of those, and it takes you back there. And then all you have to do is hit the back button to go back. And you can hit the back button on the horizontal too. So if you look at like this, it's you can scroll. This is the 1500s. You can scroll to 1600s by doing like that. 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and then you can do halfway. So like if you want to see what was 100 years after this, you look at that compared to that, and just choose whatever period you want. But and then if you want to read what happened down, the details, you just do like that all the way down. And so that includes way more than what's just here. But and then if you forget where you are, you just scroll up 16. So this is above the actual city, country, vertical part. But if you wanted to go to the very top, you could see it with the king below. I guess I'll show. It's because it's stored in 2 places. So, and then if you click on these, that's the actual link. So, but the cool thing is that like that's 100 across, but if you tilt it like this, you can take the test like this because that takes up the entire screen perfectly. Well, especially if you make it big. If you adjust it with your hand, then it takes up the screen perfectly. The height and the width is exactly perfect, which is cool. And then if you, so you can take this, you can still take the test like this, right? Like that's when King Charles I was beheaded. Execution of Charles I, and there's the back button to get back. But so it takes up 100 years perfectly for all 3 subjects. That's war, that's science, that's culture. But if you zoom it out for 200 years, let me do this. Okay, so that's 200 years. So that's 100 years there. That's the 1600s, that's the 1700s. Then it perfectly fits in below it, the king. So that's the king, that's the dynasty, and then that's the kingdom. So the kingdom, the king, the dynasty, and the 3 things all fit perfectly for 200 years in the cell phone. And then 100 years there. So it's the proportions, the dimensions are perfect. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, so because the cell phone is so perfect on this, because the timeline is so perfect on the cell phone, I can do the QR codes. The linking on the cell phone is really good too, you know, like, in fact, I'll show real quick, just to give a, okay, so that's how you get to all the different subregions in this period of history, 1500 to 2000. And then that's how you go one page forward, one page back. And that's the future. There's ancient history in the 500-year section, and then the future. And that's the world. Okay. And these are the other QN sections, UN regions. These are the regions, and those are the subregions inside. So that's the region of Asia with the subregions. And then down below, the region of America with the subregions, and then Oceania, which is its own subregion and region. And then these, I'm going to add the numbers spelled out here, but these are the, to get to the other time periods of this region. But what I wanted, so, yeah, so the linking is good and everything, right? But the problem is, if you're not as familiar with the site as I am, because I'm the builder of the site, I know it backward and forward. And if you're only interested, and it's also the whole world, you know? Just because I have the whole world on my timeline doesn't mean you have to look at my whole timeline. So to pinpoint where you want to go, like what you could do is, you could have a QR code. See, my advantage is that this is all on my website, so I can control the website where the QR code goes. So I could have a QR code booklet, sell it, and guarantee that that will work, right? So you have a QR code that when you click on it, it just, boom, it takes you right there on the cell phone. Now, it wouldn't be like zoomed in like that. It would look like that. Boom, the cell phone would open up like that when you're trying to get to the top of England. So because you know where that's where your eye is trained to go, then you just zoom it in. And there you are. And so you could do a QR code, you know, booklet of 64 of them, you know, of like, you know, all the countries that are the republics of the world, and you have a QR code that takes you. So it would take you to, you know, the horizontal part of it, or you could have QR codes with different colors of borders around them, and one border means horizontal, one means vertical, and then you could go directly to there, even though, you know, on the phone it already works that way. So the QR code booklets can act like little tutorials, you know, but they're also visual maps, because you're looking at it and you're looking at the site. Like if it's a poster on the wall, you're looking at the poster on the wall and you're looking at it like it's a timeline, tracing time and all, and you go, oh, that looks like an interesting thing. Well, you can just look at it right away. You just go shing, and then it opens up, right? And so to have the power to open up, for your phone to open up to wherever you're looking at on the map, to have them work together, could be a really useful way, you know, and better than using it, linking around just on the phone. And even for me, like when I know how it works, because then you don't have to like scroll to the top again and then link. You just do the page, and then you just QR code over it and get there that way, and then just zoom around to different countries and stuff just by zooming the QR code and not having to use the link on this. Because one weakness of my web timeline is that there's not like a little drop down that always exists that you can constantly click around to. And even if I had the technology for that and I set it up, it wouldn't work all that well anyway, because you don't know what you want to always link to, because you're zooming around so much. So, but a substitute for that is to just have the QR code in front of you where you just zoom around. So, yeah, and also what I was saying was grids take up so much, can gobble up so much space, or so much so a great number of things. You know, more than you imagine. Like, I have a bunch of images on my computer. I collect images and stuff. I'm sure you've experienced this too. And then, you know, if it looks like a list, it's like, oh wow, look at all the images. And then you look at it, really big images, oh wow, and you scroll down, you don't know, but you're like, but then you look at them in the grid with all the images set to really small, and then you get them all into one screen. You know, and you're like, I thought I had more than that, you know? And so it's kind of like an exponential factor. You know, if you have like 10 of these little QR codes across, which isn't even that much, and then 10 down, well, that's 100. If you have 100 across and 100 down, that's 10,000. I don't have 10,000 pages on my site, and if I did, that'd be insane. Maybe I do have that many pages. I have way more than that in terms of like written text. If I had to guess, written text on my page, it'd be like 500,000, but or near somewhere between 250 and 500,000. I should have, maybe AI could count it for me, or I'll figure it out. But you know, because one book, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, by itself is just 8.8 thousand. But anyways, oh shit, I got sidetracked. Fuck. Yeah, like if I had 100 QR codes on a poster on the wall with 100 across, which you could fit because they're only 50 pixels, they're this big. Now, actually, if they're going to work from printed, you can't zoom them up. So it'd have to be 0.8 of an inch, they said. Oh shit, so that's 100 inches. Oh, so that's a big-ass poster. So if you have like a poster that's a regular size poster, and it's 0.8 of an inch, so across, yeah, posters are maybe like 2 feet across, so that's like 24, say 30 by 30, 30 times 30, so 900. If I have you could get a little poster that's 2 feet by 2 feet, like a regular size poster, or 1,800 pages if it's 2 feet by 4 feet. And they're all there. You can see them, and you can QR code all of them. And yeah, so. But like the QR code cards would work really well with the history test, because you could have it open up, and that would be cool if you could have it open to a zoom. But like, you just open it up and you're trying to get certified, so it just opens to that, you know, England. And because there's so many different countries, there's so many periods of history. But then I had the idea, as you can see, this looks like good as a poster or as a screen capture. I was thinking about getting little printouts of it and printing them down like that onto my card, but yeah. What would be really cool is if they could have some kind of like invisible QR code, you know? So like what you see on the card is that, but when you QR code it with the phone, it picks up the QR code. Wouldn't that be really cool? That would be really freaking cool. But so for the time being, you know, you have to communicate what it is just with the little words below it, and then the color of the border around it. So. And the pattern of wherever the codes take you. But anyway, so I was showing my mom, we were doing this for an hour and not getting bored, you know, because we were kind of taking the test together. And because what I want to do is I want to ask for money for my site from a foundation, but if I'm going to get money, I have to do a tour. I have to give a demo of the site. If I'm going to demo of the site, it has to be a certain level of development, which I'm hoping to get it to. But I also have to show that I'm learning with it. And so I wanted to do a demo, like I wanted to get certified for England, 1500 to 2000. So that means you would get one of these perfect. You get a perfect score in one YouTube video. You just go on here and there's 150 of them. You just guess all 150 of them. Here, I'll show you. I'll give a really quick demo right now. So this is what the test would look like. Okay, so I would set it up, for the 100. You line it up for the 100. This is the 1500s. So that's a portrait of Thomas More. I'm doing this looking through the screen. Portrait of Thomas More. Okay, that's when Diderius Erasmus was visiting Britain. And look, it even fits into the screen of the computer's TV screen perfectly. For 1510 to 1514. Erasmus lives in England, 1510 to 1514. So, humanism made homeopathy more popular in the 1500s, so 1500 to 1510. Growing interest in anatomy and herbal medicine from humanism. The first printed books started getting sold in bookstores in the 1500s. First printed books hit the market, 1509. That's what ChatGPT said. So there was a sweating sickness, a plague. The first sweating sickness was in 1500. The Great Plague afflicts various parts of Tudor England, 1509 to 10. Anne Boleyn was beheaded in 1534. Anne Boleyn beheaded for adultery and treason, 1536. And so I'm already, like, I could keep going. Like, I'm already at the point where I could almost get, like, perfect in all of it. That's when the Church of England broke from the Catholic Church in 1536. Anglicanism, it's called Anglicanism. Church of England breaks away from Catholic Church. Recognizes King Henry VIII as head of church. Right? And so I think there's different levels of skill points you get. Like if you just name it like I was, that's a point. But if you like straight up keep listing, that's more points. So, but to get certified on it, you just do the YouTube video where you just sit there and you do every single one perfectly, and then you upload the video. And boom, you're certified. And then you'd move on to the next one. And then that's a stripe for your jersey. So then I can start selling jerseys later, but that's for after. Or hats, stripes for your hat and shirts and whatever. Yeah, I'm super duper excited about these QR codes. Yesterday I built another card. I built one design of a card, and then I built a card where it opens up from the side on the top, and then it opens from the side out like that. I wanted to open a card that could mimic my timeline, like with the shape of it and everything. So it looks like you're looking at the timeline, only it's the QR codes. And so it can go far enough across and to cover enough of whatever I need to cover. So, yeah. It's kind of like the equivalent of like in Star Trek, people open up their cell phone, and then the little laser thing opens this big screen, a holographic screen they're looking at. Only you're doing that with basic technology, just paper. Only it then connects it to your phone. And yeah, because then I can sell it on Amazon. That's like a way I could make money and sell my site, and do really cool demos and commercials that way. Yeah. So that's why I didn't manage to do anything looking for a job today. Like I didn't even check my email or anything because I was like, God damn it, I want to. Like I thought I think I can get done with the whole site today, and then I'm done with the QR code stuff, and I can then kind of relax and do the stuff I need to do. The business stuff I need to do. I talked to my banker yesterday. He said I could increase my HELOC loan by more than $10K, so that would get me out of my credit card debt that I've accrued. And pay my taxes for this year, and then yeah, maybe stay afloat. Yeah. Because I really don't even want to get a job right now, because I'm like right smack dab even in the middle of all this new stuff, like this whole QR code thing. Like, yeah, so And I can work on these QR codes independently of fixing my website, you know. They don't interfere with each other. So if I get sick of the website for whatever reason, or maybe my computer dies or something, I can just, you know, I print up all my QR codes and then just like, you know, build them on the computer, or like or play with them with my paper, you know, design where I want to go where, and you know, set it up that way manually. So, because it would take a lot of thinking to, you know, think of like, what do I need to do? Like, what would be the best cue card here, and then this, what section, you know, like so many. You know, you could do like a timeline of certain laws. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna get hungry pretty soon. I went and got an energy drink after I came home from her house, and then was working on this, and then the computer crashed. So let's see where's the computer's doing right now. I'm just curious if I totally overheated it. No, it seems to be. Nope. See, don't open too many pages, dude. I'm gonna have to restart the whole program because I got too ambitious. ChatGTP says 20 to 30 pages maximum on Dreamweaver. Yeah, and that was fine for me. That's how much I do usually comfortably anyway. And I tried to do like 50 or something or more, and yeah, I had a bad feeling about it. So ChatGPT was right. So anyways, that's enough talking. Talk to you tomorrow.